Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the Denver Broncos in today's video. This team's 11-2, and I think they're misunderstood. I think an 11-2 football team is a little misunderstood. So bear with me for a minute. I was watching a popular NFL TV show today, and one of the guys was talking about how he's betting on Denver versus Green Bay, and he was looking back at some statistics to see if this Denver defense was legit or if they were just all for show. Were they legit like Houston or are they all for show? And he referenced, one of the first things he referenced was they gave up like 7.1 yards per play against the Indianapolis Colts. And I had to pause for a minute because I was like, the Indianapolis Colts versus Denver, wasn't that in like September? And sure enough, it was week 2 in the NFL. So I get onto Twitter. Now, I'm a Packers fan, and we play you guys on Sunday. So I was making a Broncos video before this football game in general. But I hop onto Twitter, and it's like they heard my TV. I see this tweet. Who's had the easiest schedule by far? It's New England at 1 and Denver at 2. And all the comments are just up in arms about the Denver Broncos. Just for a fun side note, the Green Bay Packers are 7th, and I'm a Packers fan, like I already said. The Packers are 9-3-1, and it's been a pretty tough season. Like, this is the NFL. I think sometimes people think this is like the MLB, or they think it's college football, and oh, you're playing Las Vegas, and you should win by more than 7, and you should be blowing out every team unless they're one of the better teams in the NFL. And it's just, that's not really how sports work. That's especially not how the NFL works. So Denver's won 10 straight football games, 11-2, most wins in a season since 2015, the Super Bowl team. You guys play Green Bay, and here just one quick note for the whole schedule deniers. If you don't think the Broncos schedule has been legit, just give it the next 4 games. All right, Denver's got Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City, and Los Angeles. That's 4 playoff teams right there. 3 technically because Kansas City is 6-7. But if you don't believe in Denver right now, give it a month and you'll believe it by the end. So Denver will clinch actually a playoff bid with a win against Green Bay on Sunday. So just kind of unpacking, because so here's the thing. Let me break it down, and I'm sure you guys have heard this. 31-38 Bo Nix went against Las Vegas. 212 yards on 38 attempts and 31 completions. All right. So here's the thing. They had the football for 40 minutes, 39 to be specific. Denver's offense actually ranks 10th in total or average yards per game. All right. So Denver, 342 yards per game on offense, 35 offensive touchdowns. That's 10th in the NFL. So when you have a quarterback like Bo Nix, you have an offense like Denver, and you have a defense like Denver, what you want to do is you want to control the game. All right, you want to keep the opposing quarterback off the field no matter who the opposing quarterback is. You want to control time of possession, and yeah, you want to keep it clean. You don't want to throw interceptions. You don't want any fumbles. You want sustained long drives. You want to take 7-8 minutes off a game clock and limit opposing teams' possessions so they can't score as many points as you're going to score. So the whole Denver scoring offense, it needs a little bit of context, because I see so much about, well, Denver, do you trust the offense? Do you trust their 15th in yards per play offense, 5.3 yards per play? Do you trust 24 points per game? That's only 14th in the NFL. Do you trust their 13th ranked passing offense? Do you trust their 14th ranked rushing offense? And then they come out here and they play a game against Las Vegas where they have 27 first downs, 356 yards of offense, average 5 yards per play, 7-12 on third down. They don't turn the football over. They're efficient in the red zone. And Bo Nix goes 31-38, and everyone's up in arms because he only threw for 212 yards. And it's just like, hey, hold on. I don't think you know how this Broncos offense is trying to work. And also, it's Las Vegas, and you got a big month left for this season. But I'm absolutely loving Bo Nix, and I saw this fun statistic. It's his career against NFC opponents. Bo Nix is 8-1 for 2,200 yards, 20 total touchdowns, and a 94 passer rating. And Green Bay's flying into Denver for Sunday's game. But it just kind of reminded me of like Lamar. Just reminds me of some of these good quarterbacks out there. Another really fun stat I just saw, Bo Nix leads the NFL with 116.8 passer rating when trailing in the fourth quarter this season. He's got 5 fourth quarter comebacks, tied most in the NFL, and game-winning drives as well. He's got the most game-winning drives in the NFL this season. And you see, like, I literally just saw a montage of, I'm on Broncos Twitter right now. Follow the Twitter down below. As always, hit that like button, hit that sub button. It's actually been a little bit too long since our last Broncos video. I apologize. Thanksgiving kind of messed that up. But anyways, I literally just saw a montage of every close Broncos win, and people were just calling them posers. But Bo Nix can win ahead. They can also win coming from behind. And my favorite stat of all these fun stats I'm throwing at you right now, most first downs or touchdowns on third downs this season, Bo Nix is tied for second in the NFL with Josh Allen at 61. If you're curious who's leading it, it's Justin Herbert at 69. So defensively, just as a Packers fan, terrified to play Denver. Don't really want to play you guys because we're trying to win the division. I'm trying to win the NFC North here. Denver's 4th-ranked defense. They're first in sacks at 55. They're going for the NFL record. They're first in offensive touchdowns allowed. They are 27th, surprisingly, in takeaways. But if you noticed, against that Raiders game, whether it was Geno Smith or Kenny Mr. Pickett, they had nothing. All right, Denver pressured Las Vegas on 51% of their dropbacks. That's the 5th time this season Denver's defense has had a pressure rate of at least 50%. Just another fun anecdote. No other team in the NFL has done that for more than 3 games, and Denver's done it 5 times. And then finally, I do want to give some flowers to RJ Harvey because that was by far his best game as an NFL pro. He had 100 yards from scrimmage, just really good, and he's been a touchdown menace. I think he's got 9 this season. I want to just confirm that. 17 carries for 75 yards and a rushing touchdown, averaged 4.4 yards per carry. That's very critical because, usually what happened in the beginning of the season or before JK went down was you'd have J.K. Dobbins as your lead back, and then when you get into the red zone, maybe you go with RJ Harvey and you're trying to pick up 2nd and 2s, you're trying to pick up 3rd and 1s, you're trying to pick up these short yardages, you're trying to score a 3-yard touchdown. So his yards per carry average was not very good, and just seeing that 4.4 is nice. He's also phenomenal catching the football, 6 catches, 25 yards. But he ran 13 times for 60 yards and a touchdown against stacked boxes, which is 8+ defenders. 10 successful runs against stacked boxes were the most in a game league-wide since Derrick Henry all the way back in Week 8 of 2022. So RJ Harvey's ascending. That's going to be absolutely vital and huge for this 4-game stretch and for the playoffs for this Broncos team. So, folks, don't buy all the negative propaganda they're spewing online because I don't buy it for a second. This Broncos team's legit, and that's it for me. We'll probably get another Broncos video out to you guys before the Packers game. But thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for more. Let me know your thoughts on this 11-2 Denver Broncos team. Peace.